Hello, my name is Chris Cordell. Today is October 6th, and this is my final presentation. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, so today we're going to be talking about a training program that I want to put in place for my company. And what we're going to cover is the current implementation of the training we have for designer training, the alternative plans for training, and some of the benefits and risks involved with the alternative plans. So the company I work for is called UC Synergetic, and they are an electrical engineering firm. I've been working with them for about a year, and I do some drafting and pole design. So we have an assembly line work method where we send designers out to the field. They mark up a packet with inventory that they want to remove and install. They bring that back, and a pre-QC person for quality control looks over the packet and makes sure everything is correct and they're not missing anything. That then goes off to a GIS inputter, and it is input in a work management system to actually order materials. After this, a post QC person checks the inputter's work to make sure there is no missing information. So yeah, it's an assembly line. We have a business need for additional designers, and the reason for this is we're doubling our workload for the year. So we're going to need to be more accurate and efficient in our work if we want to get it all done in time. We also need to be more flexible for the designers to go out in the field, because with the additional workload, we're going to need to have people sent out to do a lot more work than we used to. The current situation of designer training is purely reactive. If there's any need that our client has for us to work for them, we're going to train people in design. So right now our designer training is nearly non-existent. I've only seen one person trained in the year that I've been there, and this was provided by key personnel. So people who are out on the field designing poles, and they get paid quite a bit of money, are training a couple of people here and there on actual designer training. Most of the training is verbal. I didn't see many written handout documents for trainees to use. So the improved position that I see is proactive. If we need, if we get more work from a client, we want to be able to support that need with no questions asked. We want to have everybody in place to work together on pole design. I would like to have everybody included in designer training. That would be after 6 months of working for the company. I would also like to have one designated trainer to keep things fluid and also cohesive. So I also want to have verbal and written documents to train people with. Instead of just word of mouth training, I'd like to come up with more written documents. So alternative positions on this training would be on-the-job training, which is what I went through. The problem with this is that it takes too long to learn how to design poles. Also, if we get new work in, we're going to have to hire out from outside of the company instead of in. The other option is training from the start. Basically, training people in GIS input and designer training is way too much information for them to handle at once. I know because I've been through the initial GIS input training. So things could get complicated. My proposed solution is to designate one trainer to train everybody on distribution design. This will keep things, like I said, solid and done in one way rather than a bunch of different ways. Also, we'd like to train all employees after 6 months from when they first started with the company. And one employee from each team would be selected each month to go through this training. Top employees will get precedence over other employees at manager's discretion to be trained first. There will be 2 weeks pre-QC training, and after that, a half a week in the field actually designing poles with other designers. We also need to write more training material for distribution design. One of the options for this is to build off of existing material. Here you can see an inventory sheet where we say what a part and piece is, and this is used to remove and install them. So we could take this sheet and make it a when and why to use the part to help trainees out. Some key success factors: managers and employees are going to have to work closely together. Any questions that employees have, managers will have to assist with them. Time is going to have to be set aside for trainees to go and train on pole design. So that's going to have to be addressed by managers. Some of the benefits of this training: employees are going to be more confident in the work. They'll be able to answer questions about why something was designed a certain way. Production is going to go up. More poles are going to be completed each month. We're going to be more versatile in that if someone gets sick, we can send out another employee to design some poles. Company worth is going to go up because we will be a training hub for other sister companies who want to come to our location and train on pole design. We can offer training as an alternative to a raise. Also, because of productivity and getting more work accomplished, our clients will assign us more work in the future. Some of the risks involved is non-billable time. We may be worried that we charge the company time instead of the client's time for training. Current designers might disagree with the fact that employees that were hired 6 months ago are getting this training that it took years for them to learn. Another risk is employees might expect a raise for this new knowledge they learned. Also, deadlines might be affected by training. So we as a company need to set the higher standard for design training. By doing this, employees will be more confident in the work and understand what they're looking at. Both company and employees will benefit from this change. So I appreciate you listening to this, and I hope you have a good night. Thank you very much.